people, and welcome back. Say hi. Guys, my house is haunted. There, I said it. It's haunted. Do I believe in ghosts? I don't know. I want to say yes because of the few stories I'm going to tell you on why I think my house is haunted. But then I also want to say no. Because, like, I don't know, you know.
When I was young, I fell in love with Mr. Old Hands, man.
So, I've had a few ghost encounters in my house, and a lot of people who have lived in my house or have stayed over, or family members who have just come over to visit, they've told me, they're like, we saw something, and it wasn't normal. It was paranormal. That was not a joke. Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna tell you a few of those stories on why I think my house is haunted. Ever since I was little, it was just a thing we kind of knew that happened in my house. It was just like, oh yeah, our house is haunted, and we just kind of laughed about it. And we still do, don't get me wrong. It's not like we don't laugh about it now. We still laugh about it. We're like, oh my god, I actually named the ghost. I was like, his name's Charlie. So, what up, Charlie, if you're watching this, please subscribe. But yeah, so it's just been a thing that my family and I just kind of got used to. My dad doesn't really believe in ghosts, so he's just like, it's not a ghost, what is your problem? It was just, you know, a shadow. I don't know how he explained it. He's in denial. He's like, there's no ghosts. Ghosts are not real, all that stuff. My mom, though, on the other hand, she's like, there's spirits. There are spirits in our house, or whatever. That's why I'm like really in the middle. Like, I want to be like, there's no ghosts, but then after I tell you these stories, you're gonna be like, there's fucking ghosts, right? So yeah, it's just been a thing that we kind of knew existed in our house. I guess I could start with the earliest story. That is when my uncle died. He died of cancer. The house is pretty big, and there's a room on the second floor, and he used to sleep in that room. At the time when he was living with us, he got the cancer, and he did die in the hospital. But a few days after he died, I don't really remember this is just stories that have been told to me, because when he died I was 2, so I wouldn't, like, who remembers when they were 2? I don't remember what I freaking did 2 minutes ago. But yeah, so basically my mom told me that, basically family members have told me that a few days after he died, we used to have like this stereo and like speakers connected, like big speakers connected to the stereo, and they told me that a few days after he died, like, he just, apparently it was him, like the radio just went on full blast, and those are like big speakers, so like everyone heard the music, and no one was downstairs, everyone was in the kitchen, so we don't know how that stereo turned on. Another story is my cousin, when he came over, it was around like Christmas time, I think it was, and he just came over to visit, and there's this hallway that like leads from the kitchen to the living room, and he was like walking towards the living room, and he like sees a shadow and was just really alarmed, and just like runs back to my mom and like tells her, he's like, I just saw a shadow and there was no one there, but there was a shadow, and he was just really spooked. And then my mom's like, yeah, that's just normal, because before my mom used to, me and my dad would just go into our rooms and stuff and just go to sleep early, or like I would just hang out in my room, but like I would be in here really early, and she would stay in the kitchen really late at night and stuff. And she told me, she's like, yeah, I've seen shadows, things just kind of move and stuff like that when I'm just here late at night. And I'm like, what? Like, that's just normal for you? And during that time when she told me that, in my room, I would hear like if someone was breathing in my ear. It's like late at night, all my lights are off, I'm getting ready to like sleep, and then suddenly I just like hear something like breathing in my ear, and I'm like, what is going on? So yeah, that was just really spooky. And then going down like the stairs to go to the living room, from our bedroom to the living room, on that turn to go down those stairs, I would always feel paranoid because I would feel like someone was watching me. There would be no one up in like the rooms, no one. My parents were both downstairs. The dog was downstairs, but I still felt like someone was watching me. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, like there's no one up here with me. Why do I feel like someone's watching me? So at that point, it had been going on for a while. Like the breathing wouldn't go away. I would feel extra spooked out when I would hear the breathing. Sometimes like my parents wouldn't be home because they went out to the park and like walked my dog, and it was just me at home all alone. And they would come like later at night when it was all dark, and maybe I just like, if I just wanted like a cup of water from the kitchen, sometimes I would just, I'm like, no, I need to just wait until your parents get home and then you get that cup of water, because it was just so spooky. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, it's so creepy. And then she told me that story about seeing shadows at night and stuff moving, and I was just really creeped out. So I was like, Mom, like, we need to do something about this. I don't know what, but we need to do something like now because this is creepy. So she contacted this lady who came and like blessed the house. She like lit candles everywhere. She threw like holy water all over the freaking house. And yeah, like that, the breathing stopped, and then me feeling like someone was watching me stopped for like a few years, like a good 3 years, I'm pretty sure. It stopped, but then after a while, like I felt it coming back. I've learned to ignore it at this point. It's just really weird. And now my cousin moved in, and because it was just me and my parents for a while, and now when she moved in, it was actually like the night I came back from Mexico. She told me this like this morning. I came back from Mexico that night, and I was like unpacking my stuff, and it was pretty late. It was like 11ish, I'm pretty sure, because my flight got back like 10:30. So then yeah, I was like home 11:30. And she told me, she's like, yeah, me and my brother were just talking near the living room. And then because my mom has a lot of plants all over the like kitchen and living room area. She has like these big plants, and so my cousin tells me, she's like, yeah, we were just like me and my brother were just talking, and suddenly like the plant just moves. There's no wind. Keep in mind, it was like 100-something degrees the day I came back. There was no wind. There's no possible way there could have been wind. All the windows in the kitchen and living room were closed. There's no way there could have been wind inside. Nothing. The plant just moves. They were so freaked out. She was like, no, I like screamed. I didn't know what to do. It was just so creepy. Yeah, just hearing that, I'm just like, oh my god. Like I thought they were gone, but no, they're back now. And then she tells me, she's like, yeah, the other night too, I was about to go to sleep, and I felt like something tug on the sheets, and she's like, after I tug on it, I felt like it like touched me on like my leg, and then she didn't think much of it. She just like went to sleep, and she's like, well, that was weird. And then the next morning when she woke up, she saw like a bruise on her leg, and she's like, okay, that's really weird. And like I can relate like getting bruises and not remembering how I got them, but usually like the bruises are really small, like they're minor bruises and stuff like that. But recently, like 3 days ago, I think, I noticed I had like a little bruise like near, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I guess near my V-line sounds weird. It was basically near my stomach that I had a bruise, and I showed my mom. I was like, Mom, there's like, at first okay, because the bruise is really, really bad. It's like purple black almost. At first when I was like looking in the mirror, I thought it was eyeshadow. I was like, oh, I somehow like smeared eyeshadow on myself, because I was getting ready that day, and I was putting eyeshadow on and stuff like that. I better like head out. And then when I was about to change, I was like, oh, maybe I got eyeshadow. And then I put on, and then I see closely, and I'm like, no, that's not eyeshadow. I press on it, and there's this pain. It hurts, and I don't remember how I got it. And then after her telling me this, I'm just like, what in the world? I don't know, like, what? It's so weird. Since my house is part of this like apartment complex, when the owners were trying to sell the apartment complex, the buyers came in to like look at the house and stuff like that, like buyers would do. And I was talking to the owner because I've talked to like a few of my neighbors who have lived around the neighborhood for like a while now. Like it's this couple that's pretty old. That's rude. I didn't mean it like that, but they've lived around here for a while, and I know them pretty well. And I was like, yeah, there's been some like spooky things happening. And they're like, yeah, like that house was kind of sketchy, because I've lived in this house since I was like 8 months old, so we've never moved. I'm 17 as of today, and we've never moved. I basically lived here my whole life. I don't know I've never lived in another house. And yeah, I told them, I was like, yeah, like it was around the time when I heard the breathing, and I told them, yeah, it's just really creepy. And then they told me, you're like, yeah, like some sketchy things would go down in that house before you moved in. And they didn't really know much detail, so I didn't ask them more. So then when these buyers were coming in and the owner was there, I was like, so, you know, what went down? I don't know if I should believe him, because maybe he was just trying to spook me. So I don't know if it's like 100% true what he told me, but he told me, he's like, yeah, the person who used to live here before you, which this was like, I think I asked him this when I was like 15, so that could have been like, that was like 15 years ago. He's like, yeah, he was like a bad guy, some kind of dealer or something, and apparently he got his head chopped off. He like did some bad shit with some people, and they came back and they chopped his head off in the exact hallway that my mom and cousin have seen ghosts in, and where that plant that moved is. It's that exact hallway that leads from the kitchen to the living room. That's where the guy told me that his head got chopped off. So I don't know. All I know is that my house is spooky. I don't know what to do about it. We already had it blessed once. I don't know if it needs to be done again. I don't know. It's just weird. I just try to like mind my own business. I named it Charlie, so you know, just tried to give it like a nice name. I don't bother it. I don't do that whole like Ouija board shit. If I did, I wouldn't do it in here, because I wouldn't like be able to sleep at night after that. I know like you're supposed to like say goodbye and be very respectful and nothing's gonna follow you. But if I were to do it, it wouldn't be in this house. It would be somewhere else. Like, but I'd rather do it at a freaking cemetery and leave the ghost there than like do it here, because I don't want to awaken any more ghosts. Like, y'all can be asleep, not bothering y'all. As long as you guys don't bother me, I don't bother you. But yeah, those have been my encounters and stories people have told me, that they had the ghost experiences they have encountered in my house. Yeah, I think that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Please like, subscribe, share this video, comment any ghost encounters or stories you have. So yeah, thank you so much. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
You should meet me on the east side, in the city with the sun.